Ever since I was in high school, my passion and interest for serial killers and what makes them tick and do what they do has grown. Not only is just a research hobby, but a career and life interest. My fascination for always having an answer to the question why is what drives me to pursue my schooling and becoming a licensed forensic psychologist. So many serial killers go unnoticed, seemingly flying under the radar until being caught. A possible reason for this could be due to local police agencies wanting to avoid mass hysteria, or the killer changing his MO and therefore avoiding recognition and capture. The harsh reality one may not be aware of is there's always anywhere between 35 and 300 active serial killers in the U.S. alone. A few recent killers have continued to inspire my passion and drive to begin my career. One of those killers being Israel Keyes. Keyes loved the immense thrill that accompanied a kill. As he studied the other famous serial killers, he devised his own techniques and methods so that nobody would be able to say he copied their ideas. He stashed murder kits that contained shovels, plastic bags, money, and Drano all over the U.S. to simplify the disposal of his victims' bodies. Arrested for the murder of Samantha Kelling, he admitted to 7 other murders. During his interviews with the FBI, a pattern of abductions, rapes, murders, and dismemberment became very clear. On December 2, 2012, he committed suicide in his jail cell. The FBI is convinced that there were more victims and recently requested assistance from the public regarding his travels and other activities. In the previous year, 2011, a 29-year-old Indonesian woman was arrested after she was found to have murdered and eaten more than 30 young women. During her arrest, a massive amount of human remains were found in her refrigerator, including those of her husband. The unnamed cannibal recently also hosted various parties where she would serve up some of the human meat to her unsuspecting guests. The woman confessed that an inner yearning and unstoppable desire caused her to eat the victims and that she would do it again without hesitation. Even while in jail, she attacked an officer, biting at her hand, and swallowed one of the officer's fingers. A less recent but still popular serial killer, known as BTK, or Bind, Torture, Kill, carried out his killings around the Wichita, Kansas area between 1974 and 1991, but was not arrested until February 25, 2005. He was then not convicted of the 10 murders until August 18, 2005, and sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms without possibility of parole. Due to his last killing having to have occurred in 1991, before Kansas reinstated the death penalty in 1994, he was immune from facing any such charges. Dennis Rader worked in security and animal control, was an avid churchgoer and Cub Scout leader, a husband and father of 2. All while carrying a bowling bag that he called his hit kit, which contained a gun, tape, rope, handcuffs, and other items. He would stalk his victims until he figured out their pattern of living, and then determined the best time to attack. When he reached this point, he would cut their phone line, break into the victim's house, and hide out until they came home. While attacking them, he would tell them that he was a rapist on the run from the cops, so that they would be more willing to go along with his request, and then assume he would leave when the rape was over. But instead, Rader would then strangle the victims until they lost consciousness, let them revive, and then strangle them again, and continue this process, getting more sexually excited as they became closer to death each time. This is how the T became part of the BTK nickname. Once they were finally allowed to die, he would then masturbate and ejaculate on their dead bodies. The BTK killer became known for sending letters and packages to authorities and the media detailing his killings. On February 16, 2005, BTK sent a padded envelope to a Fox affiliate, KAKE-TV in Wichita, that included a floppy disk. The police searched the disk for data and found a Microsoft Word document that referenced the Christ Lutheran Church and was marked as having been modified by quote-unquote Dennis. When the police visited the church website, they discovered that Dennis Rader was not only a member, but had been appointed president of the Congregation Council. This information eventually led to serial killer Dennis Rader being arrested. Although many people may find serial killers to be an off-topic, these are just a few of the killers that have kept my passion alive, along with my interest for finding the why. A quote that sums up my drive for such an off-topic is stated by author and legendary FBI profiler John Douglas in his book Inside the Mind of BTK. But their biggest turn-on is the chance to play God, to have absolute control and dominance over another human being. It was enough to make me sick. That is, of course, if I didn't find it so goddamn interesting.